Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Aging Gamer. So, today we're going to be looking at a NES classic, and not one of those beloved classics like these, but ones that are considered classics simply because they're black box titles. Today we're going to be taking a look at the game known as MACH RIDER. MACH RIDER is a futuristic racing shoot-'em-up. Developed by HAL Laboratory, MACH RIDER was first released on the Famicom and arcades in 1985, before being released for the NES in 1986. What's kind of crazy is that way before Nintendo was even developing video games, when they were just a toy company, one of the toys they put out in 1972 was a car launching racer called MACH RIDER. You place the car on this launching pad here, where it connects the wheels to the motor. You then use the shift stick on the launching pad to shift it into different gears, which would make the motor spin faster. And once it goes into fourth gear, the car is launched violently ahead. Crazy. So Nintendo, I guess, decided to make a game based off of this toy. This isn't the first time we've seen this. We've seen this before with Duck Hunt and Wild Gunman. But anyway, let's take a look at this game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is MACH RIDER. So when it comes to the story, MACH RIDER doesn't really go into detail. All we know is that it's set in the year 2112 and that Earth has been invaded by evil forces. Our job is to go to different sectors and look for survivors. Invaded? Evil forces? I would assume this all means extraterrestrials! I don't know though, because the game doesn't give a whole lot of context, and even in the game manual, it doesn't say anything. So, seeing the game as is, I'm just gonna assume it's like Mad Max, but with aliens! At the title screen, you'll see several modes to choose from: Fighting Course, Endurance Course, Solo Course, and Design. If you've never played this game before, I suggest starting with Solo Course, because that's gonna give you a real feel for the game. In Solo Course, you're simply trying to drive a certain distance within a specific amount of time. When we start, you'll press the A button to accelerate, and you'll press B to fire your weapon. When accelerating, you'll have to press up and down to shift gears. Timing your shifts is pretty important. And of course, the higher the gear, the faster your speed. But when you're driving, you'll also have to be paying attention to what's on the road. There's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of hazards. There's going to be water, oil, and tacks that will cause MACH RIDER to slip around. Then there's other obstacles like rocks, oil drums, and bomber balls that will instantly destroy you. And when you get killed, it looks like this. What the fuck was that? It just blew into a million pieces just to come back together! What kind of technology do we have in the year 2112? This is basically it for Solo Course. Avoid the hazards that will slow you down as you race against time. Keep proceeding to get more difficult tasks. Moving on to Endurance Mode, it's basically the same thing as Solo Mode, except for the fact that enemies are included here. You have to watch out for these bad guys called Quad Runners. They come in a wide variety of colors, and depending on the color, they'll take a certain amount of bullets to be destroyed. Pink ones are the easiest to kill, as I only need to hit them once. If you're not driving fast enough, these enemies can sneak up behind you and kill you too. And for the last real mode, we got Fighting Course. This is the main story mode. We get our mission, we see our course, and we're constantly reminded that we are indeed MACH RIDER. So yeah, we'll be driving from sector to sector, with there being a total of 10 stages. Once you beat the first 10, you sort of go on a second quest with another 10 stages where things get insanely hard. Each time you finish a stage, you get a message about there not being any survivors or that there's more invaders. Basically, it's just always bad news, and we have to keep moving. And like a lot of arcade games of this era, the game loops. What I mean is, once you beat the 20th and final level, you start at stage 1 again, and you keep going over and over and over until you get a game over. This means that MACH RIDER is on a never-ending quest to find survivors, but you're never going to find survivors. You just keep going and going and going, but there's no one left. MACH RIDER is the last one left. In this universe, the aliens won. The hero lost. Oh God! Well, actually there might be some hope. In the arcade version of the game, it's pretty identical to the Famicom and NES version, except for two things. One, we actually get to see Mach Rider at the beginning of the game. Badass! And the second difference being that as you progress through the game, you'll start unlocking pieces that reveal a sexy woman at the end. Very 80s sexy sci-fi here. Now, there's actually a lot of gender controversy surrounding this, and I kind of want to talk about it. Some people think that this is a woman you save. Others think that, similar to Samus stripping out of her suit to reveal she was a woman the whole time and not a robot man, that Mach Rider too is a woman, and this is her out of costume. I could see this argument going either way. Within the game manual, there's no mention whatsoever of Mach Rider's gender, and there's never been a sequel to really follow up on this ending screen. Searching for more clues on Mach Rider's gender, I did find this. In 1986, this poster was released by Nintendo in a Japanese gaming magazine called High Score. And looking at it, yeah, that's definitely a woman. As you can see with that bike in the background and the M Rider on her belt buckle, this is indeed Mach Rider. However, to me, this right here seems like nothing more than a sex sales type ad to get people to buy the game, kind of like that female Link in the Shonen Captain magazine. I think Nintendo just hired an artist to advertise Mach Rider for this specific magazine, and this is the route they went with. I mean, this isn't some piece of Nintendo artwork that was used worldwide to promote the game or anything. It was in this magazine, and this magazine only. So, looking for more clues, I turned to the Japanese exclusive Captain Rainbow for the Wii. Mach Rider was going to be in the game, but was cut. However, the model is still hidden in the game's files and is depicted as female. Again, though, this means nothing because we don't know why she was cut. Was Mach Rider cut because Nintendo wanted to keep the gender identity ambiguous? Or was there time restraints with the game or something? We'll never know, and since Mach Rider wasn't officially in the game, it's not official. Well, now we turn to Super Smash Bros. Melee, where there was a Mach Rider trophy you could collect, and its trophy description uses male pronouns when describing Mach Rider. Well, case closed. Mach Rider is a male. Except, in the Japanese version of Super Smash Bros. Melee, the description of the trophy, it's still ambiguous. It doesn't have any male or female pronouns. So is the English version trustworthy? I can't really say, so I can't use it as a source. So as it turns out, everything about Mach Rider mentioned outside of the game means absolutely nothing. All we can do is look into the actual Mach Rider game itself, and looking at what we got, this picture, this is very clearly a man. This isn't some bulky armor that hides his shape. This dude is ripped. And, well, yeah, I suppose a woman could somehow make her body look like that, but it's definitely not this woman here. So, who is she? I'm assuming she's one of the survivors being rescued, and it might sound stupid, but I believe she's being rescued by Mach Rider because of his dying animation. When Mach Rider dies, he blows up into blocks. Not pieces, blocks! And how is this woman being revealed? By blocks assembling. She's being reassembled, saved, and only once Mach Rider makes it to the end is this woman, a presumed damsel, rescued. I really like the idea of Mach Rider's identity purposely not being revealed, because, all in all, you are Mach Rider. It says so right in the game, so Mach Rider's whatever you are. But if we're also going to be honest, I mean, if you look at that picture of Mach Rider, that is very clearly a dude. Now, with all of this said, who cares? Who cares? Let's just continue with the game. Now, there's one more mode to talk about, and that's design mode. And it's what you would expect. You make your own course, if you're into that kind of thing. Unfortunately, only the Famicom version of the game actually saves the courses to the cartridge. The NES version is shit out of luck. So all of this is Mach Rider. So, what do I think about the game? It's not really for me. I want to like this game more than I do, but I can't really get into it. It's pretty freaking hard. It reminds me of Excitebike, but with guns and explosions. Not only do you have to keep track of your speed and gears, you have to pay attention to all the hazards on the inside and even the outside of the roads. Plus, you have to watch for enemies in front of and behind you. There's just a whole lot going on at once. It's crazy. And playing solo mode, with no enemies, just me racing against time, I can't really invest into the gameplay here either because it's the other extreme. It's boring. Outside of gameplay, the game is lacking in its presentation. What with its repetitive looking stages and what feels like only one music track in the whole game, it feels a bit bare, but I won't really hold that against the game though, as this is a really early NES title. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like something is missing here. There's some great groundwork here that I feel could have been expanded on with a sequel. Unfortunately, a sequel never happened. The closest we got was what many would say is a spiritual sequel, F-Zero. F-Zero is also a futuristic racing game and even has a similar looking protagonist. But MACH RIDER itself seems like a one and done game. While I don't care for the game all too much, I wouldn't mind seeing MACH RIDER make some kind of return. MACH RIDER, as well as a bunch of other one-and-done NES games, I think has potential still to have some sequels or some spin-offs. But anyway, these are just my opinions. What do you guys think? What do you think of MACH RIDER? Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care!